Interesting report coming out of San Francisco. This was something that had kind of been gaining some traction over the last week or so. Figured I'd make a video on it. I mean, we're in the off season, right? So there's going to be multiple rumors and speculation going around, but this one's pretty interesting. And this is one that I think could be true to some degree. And that is this. 49ers are expected to make a significant offer for Raiders Maxx Crosby this offseason. That's interesting. That was NFL Rumors on Twitter, who has called a number of different things in the past. Somebody else that tweeted this was 49er Sports Talk on Twitter. As they're saying, the 49ers are believed to be among teams expected to pursue a trade for Raiders Maxx Crosby, a clear shift in mindset from last year. San Francisco plans to be aggressive. Edge and wide receiver are positions to watch. Now, here's the thing about the whole, San Francisco planning to be aggressive. There is a growing, I guess, rumor or some growing speculation that the 49ers kind of took a step back last year, got younger, got cheaper. This year, it's a little different. And I think the 49ers plan to be significantly aggressive. And it makes sense, right? Like, the 49ers took a step back last year. They weren't really big spenders by any means. The 49ers got younger in the draft. They hit on a number of different picks in last year's draft. Just the most notable names. Alfred Collins, CJ West looks to be like a great pick. Upton Stout, Marquise Siegel. The 49ers have hit on a couple of different draft picks. Mykel Williams, right? And some of these guys look promising. Knowing that they took a step back last year, got younger, kind of took the cheaper route, it's not surprising whatsoever that this year they want to kind of ramp things up, be big spenders like they were in the past, in the couple years before last year. And their window is still wide open. I mean, the fact that the 49ers made it to the divisional round this year with what they had to go through was sensational. This team is due for a Super Bowl. Seattle, they just watched Seattle win it last night with Sam Darnold. The 49ers know that they can win a Super Bowl. Everybody in the league knows that they can win a Super Bowl. If they can stay healthy, be big spenders this offseason, have another good draft, there's no doubt in my mind they can win a Super Bowl next year. So with this comes, the 49ers planning to be more aggressive and things of that nature. This is why this kind of makes sense, why the 49ers would be interested in a potential trade for Maxx Crosby. Look, it's not surprising at all that the 49ers want Maxx Crosby in a potential trade. It's no surprise that they're interested in exploring a potential trade for Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby is one of the more premier edge rushers in all of football. The 49ers have been banged up. You've got Nick Bosa coming off of a torn ACL. You've got Mykel Williams coming off of a torn ACL. It's no surprise the 49ers want depth at edge, number one. And again, man, like, Maxx Crosby is a top 3 edge rusher in all of football. And he's a guy that can come in here, make a significant impact defensively for this team. And this is the type of move that could potentially put your team over the edge from becoming just a playoff contender to a Super Bowl contender. This is a Super Bowl contender type of move. What the asking price would be to get Maxx Crosby, who the hell knows? It's probably a lot, right? But at the end of the day, the 49ers can afford this. They can absolutely afford a potential trade for Maxx Crosby. This is a tweet that was sent out by Coach Yak on Twitter. He said the 49ers would definitely be able to afford Maxx Crosby's contract. The only question at this point is what a trade package would look like in order to get him. So here are some numbers from Spotrac. Trading edge Maxx Crosby. New team acquires $30.7 million in a salary for 2026. $30 million of that is guaranteed. $29.7 million in 2027, $27.8 in 2028, and $28.2 in 2029. So, I mean, the 49ers have around like 45, 50 million in cap space going into this year. So they have some money to spend. Obviously, again, the biggest thing is going to be what it takes. What are the Raiders asking for Maxx Crosby? You got to think it's going to be a lot. He's their best player by far. And obviously Clint Kubiak is taking the Seattle Seahawks head coaching role. I'm sure Clint Kubiak wants Maxx Crosby around. I also, at the same time, don't think the Raiders and Maxx Crosby are on good terms right now, especially with what happened and what transpired towards the end of the year. And they basically shut Maxx Crosby down, ended his season when he didn't want that to happen. So Maxx Crosby seems a little unhappy with the Raiders. He wants to win. He wants to compete for Super Bowls. He has said this publicly. He comes to San Francisco. The 49ers can without a doubt compete for a Super Bowl. And they are one of the teams going into next year that, probably a top 5 team in the NFL without a doubt, maybe top 3. I mean, when the 49ers are healthy, there's nobody in the NFL better. It's as simple as that. So it's just about what the asking price will be. It's not anything to do with can the 49ers afford him. They can afford him. But again, depending on what it takes to get Maxx Crosby will be the biggest thing. Now, Jeremy Fowler also tweeted this as well on February 7th about the 49ers, expected to be asking about a potential trade and asking about the availability for Maxx Crosby. So very interesting stuff. Again, man, like this could without a doubt be, a Super Bowl contending type of move for the 49ers. Could you imagine a pass rush duo with Maxx Crosby and Nick Bosa? And then you have Mykel Williams, rotating in and out. You've got the interior defensive line, which I believe the 49ers, I'm sure, will probably, take a look at their interior defensive line, get depth there. But Maxx Crosby, kind of unlike Nick Bosa, is able to set the edge, and he's able to play the run game very well. That's something that Mykel Williams has that Nick Bosa doesn't as well. Their ability to set the edge and be good run stoppers. Mykel Williams was fantastic this year in terms of stopping the run, opposite of Nick Bosa. Now, obviously, when he got hurt, the 49ers run defense dramatically, kind of dropped off. So stopping the run is huge in the NFL. And if you can stop the run, you can have a lot of success, and everything else kind of, falls into place defensively. But the 49ers used to be a very good run defense. You look at the 2019 defensive line when they had Dee Ford, and, interior-wise, they had Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. They drafted Nick Bosa. I mean, they used to be a phenomenal run defense. But obviously that's kind of taken a dip. They're not as good when it comes to interior run defense. They're really not that good anymore in terms of, outside run defense as well. They've gotten better. They definitely got better drafting Mykel Williams, but man, Mykel Williams, Maxx Crosby, and Nick Bosa would be a fantastic pass rushing edge group. So I'm all here for it. I mean, obviously you don't want to trade a ridiculous amount of compensation, right? Like 3 first-round picks, I think is way too much. 2 first-round picks, I completely understand that. But maybe the 49ers trade maybe they include a player, right? Like they could without a doubt include a guy like Brandon Ayuk. I think Brandon Ayuk will likely be released because I think teams know that the Niners are done with him, and that if they can't find a trade suitor, they're likely going to release him anyway. I mean, John Lynch publicly said that the Niners, he's played his last down in San Francisco, as he should be, or as he, should. But at the end of the day, 49ers could include a player or two within this deal to make it a little more enticing and maybe not to give up nearly as much compensation. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I would not count out Maxx Crosby being traded, though. There will be suitors for Maxx Crosby. The Niners, again, aren't going to be the only team that are going to be interested in a trade for Maxx Crosby, but it also is really hard for me to see Mark Davis, wanting to trade Maxx Crosby, number one, but wanting to trade him to the Niners. It's very hard for me to see that happening. But if the Niners give the Raiders an offer that they can't refuse, you got to remember too, Tom Brady, minority owner for the Las Vegas Raiders. You got to wonder, if the Raiders get an offer that they can't refuse, why the hell would they not trade him? Maxx Crosby seems to be pretty fed up with playing in Vegas. It's going to be interesting, man. This is going to be something to watch out for and to kind of monitor as the offseason, kind of progresses here. But let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Do you guys think the 49ers should trade for Maxx Crosby? And if you do, what would be the maximum compensation that you would send to Las Vegas to get Maxx Crosby? Let me know in the comments down below your guys' thoughts. As always, go Niners. I will see you guys in the next one.